Hello, master traders and money magnets. Holy moly, donut shop. Now, the last time we spoke, guys, we spoke about this inside candle setup that we had here. And I said you want to watch out for the mother candles high if we break out. Well, we gapped out of it. All right. We didn't quite get a traditional breakout. We gapped out of it. Apparently, there was some deal made as far as the China tariffs go. Maybe they reduced the tariffs or something like that. Either way, the gap up and it definitely ended the day bullishly. As far as how we traded it, I mean, it was overall a choppy day intraday. I had a 580 level, and we started the day off with a breakdown, which I alerted in my group. Breakdown of 580 to start the day, put in 578 and 576.5 in play. Didn't quite get to 576.5. It got to a low of 577-ish. But man, oh man, you guys can see that 578 level held multiple times until we finally was able to recapture 580. After multiple tests of resistance, we rejected, finally recaptured it. And then it led to a small bounce up to hit 582. And then not much after that, we just pretty much chopped. And then there was this little small push at the very end of the day, okay? But we look at the daily chart, guys, it does look bullish. Ever since, since early April, we've been on an uptrend since early April. Where is the 200 daily moving average? Well, we're quite above that as well, all right? But we need to look at what was the last critical level that was cleared, because we cleared multiple levels today. But what was the last one? For me, that was that 580 level. I was watching that 580 level today. It served as a nice breakdown level for me, and it also served as a nice recapture level, giving us some level to level move if you day trade it. And on my daily chart, that is the 1.786 fib level. It's a fib extension level. It was at 580. Okay, so for me, as long as above that, guys, I'm favoring more upside. We have a macro level fib level at 585 based on the downtrend line. Not the downtrend line, the downtrend that we've had from February. 585, that's a 76 fib level. Yep, it's just right around the corner. So if bulls can keep above 580, I have resistance at 583.5 and then 585. I wonder if the bears can step up there, but if they don't, 587, 588.7 and 590 would be in play next. Crazy. Can we get back to 600? I mean, if bulls can turn the 200 daily moving average into support, definitely a possibility, which brings me back to the next thing I want to talk about. If we do happen to lose support at 582 and 580 tomorrow, it would be healthy for a back test of the 200 daily moving average, okay? So losing 580, we'll put 578, 576.5, 575, and 573.5-ish in play. That is a fib level, but it's also the 200 daily moving average. That would be a healthy pullback. And if it can hold there, it would still be overall bullish. But I tell you this, if it fails, that would be a false breakout setup, and that would be bearish, and that should send us on a trip back to pullback mode to the, at least down to the yellow trend line, okay? And for tomorrow, that yellow trend line is around 558-ish. That would be a crazy drop, right? But like I always say, don't call a top, call the false breakout or the false breakdown setup. Okay, so we cleared 580. What the bears need is to break down multiple levels, starting with 580, and of course the 200 daily moving average around 573.5. Okay, moving on to triple Q, also looking bullish with the gap up and pushed higher right into my 200% fib level. That's around 507.7. If it can clear tomorrow, 509, 511 would be in play. That's a macro level, fib level, 511. And above 511 would be pretty bullish. Could possibly send us back up to 516, 518.5 in the 520 level. Only possible, though, if we can clear 507.7. Now that we tested that fib level, I will not trust a rejection unless we start breaking down some support level. So now that we hit that fib level, watch support. 506, 504, 502.5, 501, and 499. Okay, 499 being a critical fib level. Those are support levels. So we hit that. If we start breaking down support level, then maybe, just maybe, we can get some bearish action. But keep in mind, guys, a lot of time when we're moving up or melting up like this, you want to see like some type of rug pull. All right, I forgot to mention it in the SPY time or the SPY section on my recap section, but do have CPI in the morning, guys. So if you stay for the triple Q section, I do want to mention triple Q. I do want to mention CPI. All right, so watch out for any big move. If we gap up some more, holy moly donut shop. But if we gap down, that could be a sign of an exhaustion gap, a sign that the top could be in. All right, so watch those support levels on triple Q. If we start gapping down and start breaking down more support levels, exhaustion gaps time, and that could be your sign right there that we are pulling back 10, 20, maybe $25 move to the downside. Okay, otherwise, if we're just getting like little small pullback, there's a good chance the dip buyers are just gonna buy it. And if we push up above 507.7, 509, and 511, critical fib level there, then more upside is incoming. And the best thing to do is not to argue with the price action, you know. Here's NVDA though. Nice gap up from the back test of 115 gapped up. Today I was watching at 119.6 level to see if it can hold that support. I also had 121. Overall, we did get some buying pressure from that area, and we did clear 122.5 breakout. Okay, so as long as above 122.5, I do have 125 in play, which is around the 200 daily moving average. And if some way somehow that clears as well, 127 or higher incoming. Okay, right now bears need a false breakout setup, or better yet, an exhaustion gap down. They need a gap down or something. Maybe CPI can help them out, but it would start with a loss of 121, 119.6, and 118. If it does, 115 back in play, and below 115, that's when I would be bearish. 115 has been my my magic number these last few trading days and last week. You know, clearing it, stay bullish above it, paid off. It took a few days, I know, but patience paid. Patience, baby. But you know, on to the next setup, as I always say. So above 122.5, stay bullish. 125 and 127 will be the target. And if we lose 122.5 and we lose 119.6, it could be a nice pullback to the downside, especially if we get a gap down. Below 115 is when I would be bearish. Again, Tesla, well, it gapped up and it got some selling pressure from my 1.382 fib level. That's around 321.5-ish. Got some selling pressure there. If there is more follow through on that selling pressure, I have support at 316, 314, 312, and 310 fib level. If those levels fail, then maybe we can go for the gap fill, which is all the way down at 298, and there's a gap around 284.5-ish. And there's a lot more gaps that I can mention, but to hit those gaps, it would start with the breakdown of those support levels that I mentioned, 316, 310, and then we could drop down lower. Otherwise, I'm telling y'all, I got 318, 320, and 321.5 as resistant level. And if we clear that 321.5, all that selling pressure we had today, nullified. Okay, because above 321.5 would be bullish. Here is coin, guys. Now, this is the daily chart. You can't really see it, but we did have earnings reported today, and it gapped up. You guys see this post number? Look at it on the 6-hour chart. Holy moly donut shop. Yeah, that's a big pop to the upside. Shout out to earnings for that one. Now, like I say, on to the next setup. What's the next level to watch? Well, I have support at 224 and 222 being the critical fib level. As long as above 222 overall, I would favor more upside, okay? I would favor more upside. I do. And now from here is around 226s. So 226 is support. 228, 230, and 231.5 fib level is my next resistant levels. Those must clear. Now I have a green downtrend line here, looking a little funny on the 6-hour chart, but if I go back to the daily chart, it look a lot better. Okay, breakout level of that downtrend line will be based on the daily chart, like 235.5-ish. I mean, it's gonna slope down, but for tomorrow, breakouts 230. What was it? What did I say? Yeah, 234.5-ish. Yeah, break that out. It's gonna be bullish. But yeah, gotta stay above 226, clear 228, 231.5. Maybe we can retest that trend line again. As usual, call no top unless we break down support. So 224, 222 are your numbers for tomorrow. Watch if it breaks down, and maybe we can go back and fill the gap. VIX, whoa, it's just dropping, guys. Looking nasty. Well, from here, I have resistance at 19. Trust no bounds unless 19 and 20.3. I'm going to go with 20.3. 19 and 20.3 are the numbers to watch for tomorrow. If it can recapture, then maybe we get a bounce reversal. Otherwise, below 19, we're just going to dump lower. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for watching. This means a lot. Hope you found value in this video. And I'll see y'all in the morning. I didn't get the amount of likes that I wanted. But you know what? I don't do this for likes and clicks. I do this because I love this. All right? So I'll see y'all in the morning for futures in NASDAQ. All right? Peace.